there, guys and gals, and welcome to Ask Dart for March 2015. For those of you who don't know what Ask Dart is, it's basically where I answer a bunch of your guys' questions. So let's just jump straight into it. Okay, our first question comes from Edgar N. Ever, and he asks, do you live in Canada? No, I do not. I live in England, but it's okay because a lot of people kind of seem to get my nationality mixed up. I've been mistaken for American, Australian. One guy even thought I was Polish once. I don't know where they get it from. But no, I live in England, so thank you for your question. Okay, our next question comes from Gabby Britt, and it is, what's your favourite part about making YouTube videos? Now, this is actually quite a difficult question to answer because there's so many things I enjoy. I definitely enjoy making stories. That aspect of it is a huge thing for me. If you've been watching like Bleach Mod and all that sort of stuff, you can see what I mean by that. And of course the machinimas I used to make and animations and all that sort of stuff. But I'd have to say my favourite part about making YouTube videos, as corny as it sounds, is you guys, because I like making stuff for you guys. Now admittedly, I may not make you guys laugh as often as I would like to, and they say like laughter is the best thing you can give a person. But I definitely enjoy, how do I put this? If I didn't make you laugh, I'd like to hope I made you think about something. Like, again, it's really difficult to answer. It's just, you either really want to do this job or you don't. Like, there's got to be some connection for you, and sometimes you can't put your finger on it. But it's definitely the top few things are making stories, entertaining you guys, and editing. I've got a passion for editing. So hopefully that's not too vague of an answer for you, Gabby. We're going to move on to the next question, but thank you for asking yours. Okay, our next question comes from Mrs. Sky Tato, and they ask, what was the most influential thing to ever happen to you? Now, this actually has nothing to do with YouTube and Minecraft and all that sort of stuff. I used to work down at Fire and Rescue Headquarters, where I live. I worked there for about a year. I was only a caretaker's assistant and stuff. I wasn't a firefighter or anything like that. But I used to talk to all the firefighters and all that sort of stuff. And the most influential thing that ever happened to me is hearing all the stories about those guys working on the job. Like, the things they've seen and the things they've done. And that had like a huge, huge impact on my life because at that time period, I was really doing nothing with my life. You know, I was that typical, you know, kind of like 18, 19-year-old that didn't really give a crap about anything. And then you work down somewhere like that, and you hear all these stories about people that do this job that really impacts others and really has meaning, and they're doing something with their lives and betterment of the community and stuff like that. And it really gets into your DNA. They're just amazing guys and women. And let me put it this way: like, whenever somebody, like, I very rarely get these tweets, but if someone says, "Oh, like, Dar, you're my hero," or I see other people, like other YouTubers, getting tweeted, "Oh, you're my hero. I want to be just like you when I grow up," all that sort of stuff, I kind of sit there and think, like, it's a nice thing to be said, but then you've got these men and women that are risking their lives on a daily basis, that, you know, they should get more appreciation for what they do than what we do. And that's, again, it's probably like a really vague answer, but that is what I'd say is the most influential thing to ever happen to me, to have the experience of knowing those men and women and listening to what they have to say and what they've been through in life. But yeah, that's the answer to that question. At Tyler_O_J_C asks, how was your life before you came across YouTube? It wasn't, realistically, it wasn't that much different. I think the easiest way to explain it is, like, ever since I was a kid, I used to write stories and draw comic books, not that I could draw to save my life. But I was always trying to do something creative, and it always felt like I didn't have an outlet for what I was trying to do and creativity and all that sort of stuff. And YouTube is probably the best outlet I've ever found for something like that. Like, look how it's gone. Like, I used to do this for just fun, and now it's become like this full-time thing, even though I have a day job and all that sort of stuff. But it's really taken over my life, and I make that sound like a bad thing, but in my eyes it really isn't, because I love doing YouTube, and it's, again, as I said, it's the best outlet for creativity that I've ever found. So, because think about it, let's say you want to say how you feel and all that. You can do a vlog. Let's say you want to write a story. You can make a machinima, or you could just write a story and read it to your viewers and all that sort of stuff. There's so many things with YouTube you can do, creative-wise. So that's probably the best way to answer it, even though that wasn't even how the question that was asked. It was, how was your life before getting across YouTube? Pretty much the same, just without an outlet. Again, very vague answer, and I'm sorry, but that's the best I could come up with. Thank you for your question, Tyler. Marion Clark asks, how did you think of your name? Well, little known fact, I say little known fact, the majority of people know this. My first name in real life is Dar, D-A-R. So I took that, and to this day, I'm still a huge Transformers fan, apart from the Michael Bay movies. But we won't speak of those things, those abominations. But yeah, I'm a huge Transformers fan. So the Tron in the name came from Megatron. So it's Dartron, even though I call myself Dart, which, you know, it's kind of weird. But yeah, so first name Dar, added Tron for Megatron, Dartron. Simple as that. Logan Pizza Logan asks, for people who don't know much about your channel, could you possibly describe your channel in 5 words? Boring English guy plays games. I got nothing else. That's probably the most accurate description of my channel that's ever been said. Baker Guna asks, would you ever do a series with fans? I'd love to do a series with fans, and I'm sure I kind of speak for a couple of other YouTubers when I say this. There are a couple of problems with doing a series with fans. To do a series, really, you got to be consistent. That's coming from me, which is kind of hypocritical, I know. But you got to be like fairly consistent with doing a series. And when you do a video with fans, not so much. Simply for the fact that you got to think of, one, the majority of our viewers are of a younger generation. Like, they've got school and responsibilities that are different to the responsibilities we have. So times, and it also includes time zones and all that sort of stuff. Time becomes a factor. Microphone quality becomes a factor. And not to mention the fact that to do a series like, let's say me and Kyle do something, right? We can banter because we're friends and we know what makes each other laugh and, you know, what each other like and all that sort of stuff. Doing it with a stranger is a lot harder. So the series becomes work and it stops being fun. So that's why you'll see that the majority of people don't do stuff with fans like on a one-on-one basis or anything. But I stream on Twitch and we do like hide and seek and all that sort of stuff with you guys. So I like to think that makes up for that, you know, of not doing a series with fans. And there's a lot of people that do series on servers where fans kind of roam around and all that sort of stuff. So there are ways around it, of course, but actually doing a series like one-on-one with a fan is a lot more difficult than people tend to think it is. Hopefully that's a good enough answer for you. Derpy Cake asks, do you accept marriage equality means for girls and boys? I know what you mean. Basically, you ask about gay marriage. I completely agree with marriage equality. I'm not going to speak too much about this because it's a touchy subject amongst some people, which I don't see why it is. And this channel isn't a political thing. But I definitely believe in marriage equality. Like, if you love someone, then it shouldn't matter about gender and all that sort of stuff. But again, that's the last I'm going to say of it, but yes, I do agree with it. Olivia Loves Snow asks, do you think all the Brogres will ever do videos together again, like the old days? Shelby, Heather, Ross, Prezi, you, Kyle, Tyler. You'll definitely see, like, me and Kyle doing stuff together, Kyle and Tyler doing stuff together, me and Tyler doing stuff together, and all that sort of stuff. And Prezi barely did videos anyway, but we all still love Prezi. she's the innocent one. But as a group, I can't say for sure. I would love to. I get along with everyone. Everyone in that list are amazing people. And they're all incredibly funny and good at what they do. And I've enjoyed working with them for as long as I have. Hopefully, but I can't really answer because it all depends on other people and stuff. Obviously, personal issues get in the way a lot of the time. But I would like to think so, maybe one day. But I can't give any guarantees, I'm sorry. Okay, and for our final question, it comes from Skylord0928, and it is, why did you start YouTube? By the way, I'm glad you did. So am I. Long story short, again, I've spoken about how I needed a outlet for creativity. And it was actually my brother that kind of got me into YouTube in a roundabout way. He showed me Red vs. Blue. And I'd always been fascinated with the idea of, like, making movies and stuff. And as soon as I saw that, I started thinking, how can I do that? How can I make movies in video games? And that's why I started doing RuneScape Machinimas, because that's what I was playing at the time. And, again, long story short, it's kind of all evolved into what you see on the channel now. So, in a way, you've kind of got to thank my brother for that. But don't tell him I said that. Because, yeah, I don't need the hassle from him. Although he's probably watching. You're not getting any money. Okay, and that's all the questions we have for you this month. If you want your question answered in the next video, sometime next month, just tweet me with the hashtag AskDart, and I will see what your question is and see if it hasn't been answered before. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. We've got new shirts available on the Spreadshirt stores. You can see the design on screen now, and the links for the Spreadshirts are down right at the bottom of the description, so definitely check them out if you want a shirt. I also want you guys to do me a favor and check out a fanfiction from Olivia Loves Snow. Her question was in this video. She basically made a story about if my character was going to be a king. It's a really good story. It's a really long story at this point. But it's fully enjoyable. I do ask that you check it out and support her in her endeavors. In fact, support everyone in their endeavors. But again, that's it for me today, guys and gals. Tomorrow's video will be something a bit more entertaining. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, though. But until then, I've been Dartron, and you guys stay safe.